not streaming when I just linked it. All right,
Nice.
so hi, we got Duke of Hobbies, and we've also got Ryan Flemming, otherwise known as Rineheart, and today we're gonna run you through exactly how to play on Vassal as sort of a competitive standard pickup game for tournaments and stuff. Say hi, guys.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Every time. So yeah, we've just been chatting a bit before this. We'll see if we actually get anyone on the live stream to chat through, but at the moment I'm just screen sharing. So what we'll do is we'll run you through sort of how to start off a game and then go into the gameplay itself, and hopefully can see some of, well, basically how easy it is to get kicking on Vassal and just play some random people on the internet, which is where it's at. So tell you what, if Duke, if you just want to go on to Vassal, I'm just going to go into the main room and show people how to start a game. So if anyone's interested, I've also got a basically an introduction to Vassal, like how to install it, how to get all the games started. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. This is more about actually playing the games and going from there.
So you want me to start up a game here?
If it's okay, I'll do it. So then everyone on the stream and on the video can see exactly how we do that. So yeah, they can at least follow through if they're making a game themselves or they want to start a game up. Then they can do that. So as I'm screen sharing at the moment, it means that you can see that. So I'll go to new game. I'll say Ollie versus Duke, and we can see a new window appear there. So I'll just go File, New Game. I'll be Player 1. And might as well go on Pittsburg X-Wing because, yeah, let's rep some sponsors. So choose the map. Make the map appear. Right, game is up. Duke, you can join.
All right, joining in now.
All right, and hopefully we'll get Ryan in here as well. There we go. You see
Yep,
him there.
I'm
He's
coming.
got Rineheart.
That's a good point of topic here. Is that for the most part, if a room is unlocked, and if you go watch,
Yep. I mean, there's loads of spectating. I mean, Ryan's on here basically all the time, as is Blair. Like, Blair Bunky just lives on here.
Always looming.
Yep. So, I mean, a lot of people just sit and watch games for the evening. Like, they're doing something else, and they'll just have a game on in the background.
that's what I do.
Yeah, it's nice. So,
It's great to learn.
yeah, I mean, as well as that, I go on here just for checking out lists. So I'll just spend 5 minutes just looking through all the different rooms and seeing what people are flying. It's quite nice just to pick up ideas.
You'll catch some clever things doing that.
Yeah, and some scary things as well.
Yes.
I got absolutely ruined by the 5 Y-Wings last night. It just
Yeah, that
did
list worries me.
very, very bad things to me. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so we've got this set up. Just want to go into quickly like how you might get a game as well. You can see a couple of people here with exclamation marks next to their name. That's just this exclamation mark up here. You click it, and you can chat to someone else. So for example, there's a guy called David in the main room. If I wanted to message him, just click on private message and just type, "Hi, do you want a game?" Everyone's really friendly, and you can just chat and go from there. So, right then, shall we get this thing loaded? Shall we get some lists up?
Yeah, let's get the list going.
All right. So, what we've done for you guys as well is that we've decided that we're going to play some lists with as many different things in there as possible. So hopefully you can see most of the interactions and how you might do them on Vassal.
Yeah, we wanted to cover a lot of maybe some devices. So I'm flying bombs, pilots that have force charges, and pilots that have charges, or just charges that sit on opposite sides. Everything, like, just in a typical game and how to interact with it in Vassal itself.
Yeah. So when you get in, I'd actually recommend as a tip for beginners. You can see I've just chucked on the stream here. I've already got my list loaded up. I know what I'm going to use, and I've got that in some bookmarks. So I've got a load of the lists that I use on a regular basis in my bookmarks, just so I can go and copy the web address, because it just speeds things up. It means you're not having to make your list on Yasby or whatever you use from the start, and it's just quite helpful. So I can just go into the squad spawn and load up my list. Alright, spawn squad. And might be a little laggy, but then if we have a look at the chat window, just get that smaller there, you can see that Duke's already loaded, or hasn't.
I didn't get mine in there yet. I'm getting it in now because I saw that you were going. So
There we go.
Better for the lag that I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's the only issue that you find with Vassal, is that sometimes it takes a little while to do things. And you can see down here that we've got both lists. So if I wanted to have a look at Duke's list in a builder, I could just literally copy that, and we can go from there. Awesome. So shall we? What else have we got? Shall we get some ships on the board?
The ship's on the board.
All right. So what you guys should also be able to see, if you can see my window here, that I've got my player window set up as if I was playing on a single screen. Normally I've got two, but it just means that for you guys, you can see what we're doing here. So that'll help. The other thing that I wanted to mention as well is Mjorn has been busy, and we've got the Escrow function in here. So, I mean, have you guys play in the Vassal League, right?
Yeah.
So do you just want to run us through like how Escrow works?
What, escrow? Or what?
Yeah. He's always talking about the escrowing. So, you submitting your list privately in the fashion that for the league, in the league, you don't have a set list like you do in a tournament. You can change your list as many times as you want, but your opponent won't know it until you both submit a list into this, what we're doing, using List Fortress now. So it's kind of changed from the original since we've moved from 1.0 to 2.0, but now I know that Muon is working on, and I'm not sure if it has been actually implemented yet. You should be able to do it through Vassal.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing up a page here of what you will eventually see. So Mjorn sent me an image because he knew that we were doing this video. He has pretty much integrated it now into the squad spawner. So as soon as the new update comes out, you're going to be able to see, you just copy your list in, send to a Scrowl, and then when your opponent does exactly the same thing, what will happen is that it will reveal and load both of your lists at the same time.
He has been busy, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's doing all the things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
for as appreciated as Muon is in the community, he's still underappreciated.
Yeah, that he just, I mean, guys, subscribe to his Patreon. Like, yeah, I think I've actually gone on for like the $10 a month because I was thinking about this and it's like, right, if I was ever to play World of Warcraft or something, then you'd be paying that much a month for a game anyway. And the amount of time I spend on here, it's.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. And yeah, he does all this for free. You can play X-Wing for free. Wonderful. At least until Disney gets angry. And yeah.
I just want to show real quick the difference between how we each loaded our list there.
Yep.
You loaded yours with your rocks included.
Yes.
I intentionally loaded mine without my rocks included. I just minimized all my stuff real quick. I did that because there's sometimes you guys, if you do it through YASB or you have your export list, it might not actually have the asteroids built into that. All you're going to do then is go to your pieces window, and then you can get the rocks from there. So let me up. There it is. And then you can, they have the two sets of asteroids there. So you have, and you go to chits for that. So that's the third tab. And you're going to asteroids or the Force Awaken asteroids. So the two core sets, essentially. And then there's debris clouds, that's right. But I strictly play with the same three rocks, as always. And then it's just a drag and drop situation.
Yep, just take it from there, chuck one on the board, wherever you want.
One thing that people may not realize, it's a perspective issue, is you're looking at the board here. Your natural instinct is to want to start at the bottom because that's kind of how it is naturally when you play in person. But both players are seeing the board in the same orientation. So if one player is starting at the bottom, the other player would have to start at the top, and that's counterintuitive to what he would normally expect. So I think it was 2.5 years ago. Theorist did a tournament, and he set the standard that play from left to right.
Yeah, it makes it a lot
generally
easier.
No one has the natural orientation advantage that you would from starting at the bottom. So when you're rolling for initiative, roll hit or miss, decide who goes first, and then the other person generally will decide which side of the board they want to start on.
Yeah. It's something I ask very nicely whenever I'm doing streams, because I've got my stream set up so that the left-hand side is me. I always try and see if I can start on the left. Most people like the right, so.
I tend to start on the right, but it's the same disadvantage going side to side. There's no real advantage to either side, really. It's just kind of personal preference.
Yeah, that's a really good call. That's one of the things I always forget, because new players always tend to set up at the bottom. I think they assume that it's reversed for your opponent.
Other player. Yeah, it's not. It's yeah, and again, like the protocol is points. That person calls hit or miss. If you're tied, you call hit or miss. Once initiative's determined, that player decides if they want to go first or second, and generally the other player decides which side of the board they want to start on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a nice little touch. You can just say, right, there we go. You may have lost the roll, but you get to choose.
Get something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't ever choose to start. Don't choose to start at the bottom. That'd be a faux pas.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the other thing, I think we've dealt with most things for starting up, but the only thing we haven't done is that if you are playing one of these online tournaments, most of the time you tend to record your games just in case something goes wrong or it crashes, and you can do that by going into the File tab and clicking Begin Log File. That will then start up a save window. Save it wherever you like. A lot of the time, I mean, you can see in here I record a lot of my games, and yeah, you just say, for example, test stream game, hit save. Just hit OK when it says enter comments, and right now this is recording everything that we do on Vassal. When you're finished recording, you just go File, End Log File, and then that log file is saved, and you can look back over it. You can load it up in Vassal, and that will step through as showing everything that you did in that game.
The best part about that is you might have had a turn where I wonder if I'd have made the left, the too hard right. Would I have hit the rock or not? You can go back and you can see. You can execute any maneuver you want and undo it, and then continue to replay the game.
Yeah, it's a really good feature.
Or you can make a copy of it.
Yeah.
Copy of a ship, and if you maybe had gone to the left and you want to see how the game would have played out if you went to the right instead, you can make a copy of the ship, and as you play through the game, you can move that ship in the alternate path you would have taken to see if it would have worked out better.
Yeah, it's a really nice feature, and also makes it very easy for streamers like us. If you want to just run through a game with commentary on it, it won't take an hour and a half to play the game. You can just run through it in about 15 minutes. Because you can quickly blast through all the dial setting and everything else.
And it was also important for just it's good to track that stuff too, in terms of you while you're playing. Oh, did he say set, or did your opponent say set? And you can scroll back up through and oh man, I swear he didn't do that or something like that. But it's all logged, so everything's logged in there. So it's good to have that for recording for that record, especially for the competitive play.
Absolutely. And as you guys can see, there's the whole chat window here. As soon as I do something, so for example, I'm going to move Chewie one forwards, and as Chewie moves one forwards, it appears in the chat. So you can see exactly what someone does. If I decide that I want to check range from Lulo to Chewie, I can check the range, and it tells you in the chat what range it is. It's really useful.
The one other thing about the chat, I've seen, especially newer players do this. So when you play on Vassal, you're generally not talking to each other. There's no audio. This is the exception because we're recording something. But generally, it's all text chat. So the best thing you can do for your opponent, what you're doing. When you've rolled the dice and you're done modifying, type set. When you've moved your ship and you're done moving and you've taken your actions, type set. If you're re-rolling dice, state if you're using a target lock, state if you're using predator, state if you're using some other effect. It will save confusion and tense situations between two players, you are completely transparent about what's going on. Don't assume that your opponent knows something. When you're playing in person, a lot of times you can just look at them and infer, and there's more than just your words that are saying what's happening. In Vassal, all you have is what's written in the chat. So it's important to be very specific and ordered about what you're writing in that chat, and everything you're doing, just tell them.
Yeah, and this is something that I'm really bad at.
Yeah, this is important when it comes to, especially with doing a barrel roll or boost. Because if you're going to do a barrel roll or you're going to do a boost, declare it first and declare the direction right away. So, I'm going to type in barrel roll, I might use BR. I use BR all the time and then be like left. So I declared it in there, and, sometimes I accidentally hit, right click right, because I'm looking at the ship in a weird orientation and I'm thinking right, but I declared left. So like I can be like an honest mistake and be like, look, I know I went right, but I declared left.
Yeah.
And most people are going to be like, yeah, that's what you declared. Do what you declared. Just because, again, like, I don't know, let me just move Horton in a weird direction, and he.
Yeah,
there's
gets
times
hard.
where I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, I wanted to go left, and then for some reason I'm thinking to the right, or I click right or something, or I hit the wrong shortcut key. So it happens all the time, but it's important if you declare it, then that's an easy mistake to correct because you actually have proof of what you were intending to do.
Yeah, and as Ryan said, it clears up anything that could possibly be a problem because you're just saying everything in the chat. It's very clear what you need to do, and yeah, it just makes it easy for you to play the game. So there we go.
And there's no question.
Yeah.
All questions go away because you said it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just before, because I think we've pretty much covered everything that you need to do before the start of the game. The other thing that I will go into is, as well as finding the asteroids in this pieces window, you've also got, if you click on second edition, you've got all the tokens you might need as well. So yeah, if your list spawns without the tokens that you need, because you can see from my player window, it should spawn with all the tokens and all the target locks, which is amazing. Again, Muon, you're a god. But yeah, you've also got movement and range aids. Another one on that, it's quite bad form on Vassal, just like it would be on a table. You're not allowed to pre-measure. So it's quite bad form to get out the templates. I mean, you can have them for reference, sure, but holding them up against the screen is kind of frowned upon. And I caught one of my opponents using the solitaire window to have templates in, and he was rotating them to the right orientation, and I imagine holding them on the screen. So yeah, it's usually frowned upon because you wouldn't pre-measure your moves in a tournament on the table, so you wouldn't do it on here.
Same rules apply. So it's not like just being on Vassal adjust anything. It's the same rules. It's just be kind, and everyone's just here to have a good time. So
yeah,
if the game's not going your way, happens a lot. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Remember to blame the dice and always reroll rerolls. It's really annoying. Han can do that now. Right. So shall we get this thing rolling?
Yes. Pun intended.
All right. So yeah. Oh, as you can see, I've got player 1 window open as I'm player 1. Duke has got player 2 window. So he's got his list in the player 2 window. I normally have both of these side to side so I can see my opponent's list. But I'd have that on my left-hand screen. You guys can see the right. So I'll just keep my player 1 window open for the moment. And I will spawn a damage deck as well. There we go. So how many points am I on? I need to check this because I've forgotten in all the time that we were chatting. I am on 196 with this list.
I think I'm 200. I'm pretty sure I'm 200.
You are 199. I still got your list up.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So I've got the initiative choice. I have a 6 in Poe and Wedge is scary, so I'm going to ask if you move first, which means you get to choose side.
All right, I will take the right side then.
Thank you. That makes the stream easier. All right. So what I'll do is I'll do the first couple of rounds so you can see my screen, so you can get used to it, and then I'll flip back to my streaming mode so that it looks a bit more cleaner and it's less busy. There's less stuff for you to focus on.
And I'm recording it. Just here's my right side of my monitor. This is what it looks like for me entirely.
Yeah.
So I might switch back to my stream, but it's not that big. But I get first rock.
Yeah, you do. Oh, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
So with this, there's a Ewing over there. So actually, I don't mind making it messy. So I'm going to use the rocks because normally I play with the big rocks, same as Duke, but I'm scared of TIE fighters, the new Mining Guild ones. So I've swapped to debris. So I'm going to place that one over there. And set. I am set.
Yeah.
I'm going to use just as Duke's doing, I'm going to use the chat to show you how we play with text as well as talking.
And normally, most of the veteran players are going to just type in set because that's what we're used to. Courtesy of Muon, he actually put in the auto type set.
Yeah, we have a set button that I never use.
Yeah, I typically type set and then I misspell it like 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been helpful for me.
And
If somebody accidentally types ST, it means set.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my usual is EST because I type it just in the wrong order.
I go to tournaments, I can usually tell who the Vassal players are.
Yeah.
Because they have a tendency to say set after they're done doing anything.
Yeah, I do. Like, dials are set.
Yeah, I'm set. Like, people who don't play on Vassal don't do that as much, but just this second nature to me from playing on Vassal. No matter what the game, set. Are you set? I'm set.
Yeah, and you can hear it from across the room as well. If you play on Vassal, as soon as someone says it, it's just like, I have a friend. All right, that one is set. So
say set, and if you aren't sure sometimes your opponent will not do anything, like they've moved and they haven't taken an action, or they've put a focus down, and you're not sure if they're going to link or whatever. Are you set?
Yeah, just ask.
Sometimes they may forget or they may get distracted. So just ask them, are you set? If they say yes, great. Then you continue.
Yeah, exactly. And again, just typing and being clear in the chat just clears everything up. Also, as just general etiquette goes, obviously you can't see your opponent, so you don't know whether they've just disappeared to the toilet or something. I'd normally tell my opponent if I need to go or for whatever reason. Like phone calls happen, you've got to go to the toilet, do whatever. Just say, look, I've got to go, be back in 5, and then your opponent isn't just waiting around thinking that you've disappeared.
Your wife walks in with groceries, you need to unload the car, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right back.
All right, all the rocks are on the table. What initiative are your ships?
I am a 3-4-4-6, and then I had to double check that because I just kind of threw this list together. So
Yeah, so we've got the 3 first. Cassian goes down on the board first.
oh, it's Magva.
Oh no, no rerolls for me.
Denying rerolls.
She's really good.
I like her. I like her a lot. I actually have yet to be successful with her, but I like her. All right, and then it's my 2 4s actually next, right?
Yeah, because I've given you the initiative. Yep.
So I'm gonna do Dutch next because he's easy to throw out there. Oh, hitting some lag.
Yeah.
Typical Vassal here.
Yeah. Every now and then it can take a few seconds to do something. So if it does lag on you and nothing's happening, don't mash any keys, because it will catch up eventually. And mashing keys not only makes it last longer, but makes your ship move halfway across the board when it does everything at once.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm gonna set Dutch there, and typically, if you have, at least in my case, I'm not sure about you guys, but if I have 2 ships that I'm gonna set next of the same initiative level, then I just set them both, and then I'll say set.
Yeah. Oh, you guys will also notice the grids around the board that we're using to set up our ships. That's used for setup, and again, if you wouldn't use range help during the game, so we turn those off when we start. It's just this little 3x3 box up here.
And I'm gonna.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Rotate and then that's why I'm declaring which way I'm gonna rotate that that mobile arc. Hey, I actually went the right direction.
Yeah.
And then.
So you've Alt M is the shortcut key, but you can do pretty much everything on the right clicks. So if you have a look there, you've got reverse moves, barrel rolls, like literally everything is on there, mobile arcs, etc., etc. All right. So it's my 4 next, and Duke is set. So I'm gonna turn Chewie up here. We'll come on to movement in a bit, and I'm gonna pop him in the corner because I really don't fancy jousting. And it's also Lulo to go next, so Lula's gonna set up with Chewie. She doesn't know where Wedge is gonna go, and she doesn't want to get picked on. So there we go.
It is. And so now Wedge is up, and Wedge is not sure what he's supposed to do with this list yet, because I wanted to fit something with charges on another ship. And I realized I had the bombs, but I thought I'll throw in like Leia, because I love that Leia's 2 points now. So
yeah, Leia's
instead of
so
Swarm,
oh god,
I went with Leia. So
well, I've just realised that 4 B-wings and Zeb with Leia on board is 200 points exactly.
oh, I might try that.
Or I mean, you can use X-wings, mix and match. They're anything that's 41 points. So the Y-wings, you can take 4 of the Y-wings and then Zeb with Leia.
I'd rather go with those B-wings. I like B-wings.
Oh, I love B-wings. I love B-wings. All right, Poe's going to go on flanking duty. I never like setting things up straight because I think it's too obvious, so I'm going to put him at an angle. There we go. All right, then. And then I'm going to say set because he's set up. And then off we go. Good luck. Have fun. Or may the force be with you.
Yeah, either way.
So if anyone
Right.
puts that in the chat, MTFBWY, they're not trying to like be really nice to you. It's just may the force be with you. All right, and let's toggle that one off. So obviously, depending on whose stream you're watching, you'll be able to see Duke's dials and my dials as we're setting them. So yeah, we can go through that. Obviously, I'm not going to tell Duke where I'm going because that'd be boring. Interestingly enough, though, because Ryan, as an observer right now, also can't see the dials until we reveal them.
Dials.
Which is kind of important, especially if you're playing like a big game. Then, yeah, because it can really mess with people if you've got someone on Skype that's just scouting for you. All right.
Then this is you can see we're gonna have 2 different ways of how we set our dials. Holly, you look like you're you do it how it's on the board.
Yeah.
Or a regular way, and I just kind of capture all of them, throw them somewhere out of the way.
I'm being forced to change my ways though because the dials are so big that they're really difficult to put next to the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, something I forgot to do is I forgot to trigger Poe's S-foils because Vassal can do that for you. So where is it on here? Craft stats, set stats. I can't remember where it is, so I'm going to use the shortcut. Alt and U is set the S-foils open or closed. You can see it pops up in the window, and it shows it on the ship as well that his S-foils are closed.
Foils and the configs are typically they're not in the set stats. They're the very first thing on the top on the right click.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm using. I'm just going to keep mine open for both my U-wing and X-wing. Make sure the default setting is actually opposite, is closed, and closed for both the U-wing and the X-wing and the T-70 on the cards. So if your opponent is going off the cards, be respectful and do it based on the cards too. But typically, everything's on the board.
Yeah, and it's always good to ask if you're not sure. So there we go.
All right. So you're all set. I'm set, and I'm going to use the new Control S feature.
Oh, so good. So your ship just moves automatically. Right.
There, and I'm just going to do the focus, or actually, I could have said focus as my action first.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
my 2 4s, and so just like in real life, if some people do it this way, other people do it that way. I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, do both at the same time here.
Yeah, there we go.
And do forward, and he's gonna focus. And we'll do the 2 forward with Horton.
Yeah.
And then he's actually going to rotate that arc. So, again, rotate to right.
Alt and M.
Thank you.
There we go. So the double tap is now facing the correct direction. Okay, and yeah, you'll notice that Duke put all of that nice and in the chat there, so it's fairly clear for whoever's playing against him. So I'm now going to activate Chewie. Again, I'm going to use the automatic move function, so if you hit Control and S when you're clicking on your dial, the ship will move automatically and it shows up in the window. Then I'm going to also rotate my arc, because I feel like I'm going to be broadsiding a lot this game. So I'm going to click Alt and M and it will rotate both of them at once. And finally, as that's a red action, I'm going to grab myself a stress token and dump it next to my ship. Then I'm going to recover my dial with Control and R, just so I don't forget for later. Dump it back in my window. Just something quickly, if you guys try and change your dials on the board, I'm just going to do it for Lulo here. You'll notice there's a big angry warning message that shows up for everyone. So that basically someone can't change your dial on the board without everyone knowing. Quite a good feature there. So
and real quick, Ollie, because we had a message on Reddit regarding this. So the player was like, "Hey, I'm having issues transferring." I guess they get either a lot of lag or some issue. They're on Linux when they move their dials between the board and their window.
mm-hmm.
So we chatted about this on Muon's trying to fix it for him. But we chatted about this, and basically, warning message every time you're changing it while it's on the field, on the map. But if you guys are in the planning phase and you've come to this agreement like, hey, I'm having this weird issue, I'm going to just keep my dials on the board. Again, they're not changing it during the activation phase because this warning isn't popping up during that portion. It's only happening during the planning phase. So it's like acceptable as an error to pop up in that time. So just get that opponent agreement. Just be clear. Get the agreement in the log chat too. So that way, if for some reason something happens later and you're like, hey, look, Judge, it was here. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't think I've ever seen a judge call actually on Vassal like that before, but just in case.
Yeah, so. That's fine. Right, awesome. So in which case, I'm going to move Lulo. This time I'm going to use the Control R to reveal my dial without the ship moving. And I'm going to manually move her using the hotkeys, which is Shift for forwards and 5. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both a barrel roll and a boost. So the barrel roll is locked in with left and right for Control and Alt. So Control is left and Alt is right. And then you can use 8 with one of those. So you hit them both at the same time. So I'm going to go Control to go left and 8. But before I do that, I'm going to declare my action. So roll left, then boost, also left. You wouldn't have to do that all at once. You could do one action and then think, right, what am I going to do now? But as the A-Wing's only option is to push the limit afterwards with the boost, I'm going to do that. So, and I've used Control and 1 to do the curvy bank to the left, and then that gets me a stress token, so I'll put another stress token on there. And we'll hide Lulo's dial. There we go. I am set. Over to Wedge.
Alright, Wedge, nice and simple here. Just doing that control. And he will focus also.
There we go. Awesome. So what do you think of the two lists, Ryan? What do you think's... I really like, even though this has been thrown together at the last minute, I really like the Rebels here.
Out there, what'd you say?
What do you think of the Rebels? Like the list?
I mean, I've seen Nick has kind of made these kind of weird hodgepodge rebel lists his bread and butter. I mean, you look at it and you're like, I don't know how you're going to do anything. I mean, he's got like a Dutch with no turret and just a bomb. But somehow he's going to... He pulls it off. So he's gotten really good at weird stuff like this. So at first I would see this and be like, yeah, I don't care what you have. But the problem is he kind of outnumbers you.
Yeah. There's a lot of firepower. That's the scary part.
Yeah, he outnumbers you, and if he tags Poe with an ion, Poe's in deep trouble.
Oh, I'm in trouble. Right. Are you set as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am set, so there we go. Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, as you can see, it's very, very easy to forget to say set if you're just having a conversation or something. So, like, it's useful to check. So Poe is going to reveal, does a one bank, and then I'm going to say boost straight. So for a shift for forwards. And 1, and he will stay there, not stressing himself out because he doesn't want to take 2 actions. I'm going to leave my foils closed, which I can guarantee I'm going to forget every single turn. Right, so back to Dars.
And because that is the end of the round and we're we're going to pull our tokens off that come off and everything. But if this is the Vassal League match or any other tournament, typically the rule is 19 rounds. So, Ollie, how about you want to cover how that's typically tracked? And
yeah, so the easiest way that people have found to do this is just by getting up if you go into the 1.0, have we still got the 1.0 chits? Yes, we do. So it chits, and then you go tokens. There's a shield token here or an NG token, and you can set that on the board, and you can count the shield. So if you go add 1 shield for turn 1, and then you get another shield for turn 2. So it's now turn 2. So I'll leave that shield token on the board, and yeah, you can leave that there to track the amount of turns going on. And yeah, that's probably the easiest way of doing it. What we'll cover in a second, probably when we get a bit more involved. Actually, you know what, I'm going to do this now, because I don't want this video to go on forever, so you get a good guide, and then we can just carry on playing our game. A couple of bits on just when you're doing the tournament is that do make sure you've got enough time to play your game. Normally it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, especially for 19 turns. So yeah, set aside some time when you're not going to be too up and down. Otherwise it can get quite frustrating for your opponent. And the other thing is crashing. So I'm just going to show you what happens when a ship crashes. The great thing about this is that Vassal does it all automatically. Say, for example, Lulo decided to do a 2 forwards move here. I would do the 2 forwards, and you'll see that the ships are flashed because my ships overlapped. All I need to do is click on Lulo again and hit the C key on the keyboard, and it will automatically move Lulo back to where she meant to be. If for whatever reason I wanted to undo that, I can just click the undo and move her back, and say I wanted to check out if a 2 bank fit, then I could do a 2 bank from this point as well, control and 2, and you see that she's also crashed. So I'm going to click on her and I'm going to hit the C key, and it moves the ship back along the template until they're just in contact, just like that. And if you want to delete something, it is control and D to get rid of it. So there we go. Right, Can you guys think of anything else to add, just for sort of ease of play and everything else?
I mean, the biggest issue is always just communication. You know, there's generally an accepted protocol. You say set, this person does that, you wait. You play one game, you'll kind of pick up on that. We'll try to guide you through it here, but most of the wonkiness with Vassal comes when people aren't communicating to each other what's happening.
Yeah, and and that's when people can just get frustrated or just quit the game, because if you don't know what's going on with your opponent, then it's quite hard to work out what you want to do and whether or not you can actually do something. So yeah, just use that chat window. A lot of people I know, when they're starting off, will just play people that they know and try and chat on Discord or Skype or something. But yeah, it's very, very easy. As long as you just use the chat nice and often, then you'll find that, yeah, it's very easy to play a game on here.
Yeah, definitely. Just make sure, especially for the league, since you're recording it with the log file, so try to keep everything within Vassal itself. It has been handy to do voice chat before with people, so but then there's been times where it's like, wait, what were you trying to do and stuff, and then because it wasn't really logged in a weird way for the Vassal, we couldn't go backwards.
Yeah.
With like the undo button. So just that would be my suggestion. Even if you're voice chatting like we are now, we're still throwing set in there. We're still declaring by typing. I think that's still important for Vassal play.
It is.
Really, when you're a new person, for sure, keep doing that no matter what. It just gets into a habit, because like, I think, Ryan, you play a lot on your laptop, so you're not going to be trying to hook up voice chat for it anyways. I'm on my desktop, so if my opponent wants to, I just plug in my mic real quick. So
I've been playing on Vassal for 5 years now.
So you remember the old barrel rolls.
I remember it all. But I think I've done a voice chat Vassal game in that time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unless there's an exception, assume you're not using voice and you're just using chat, text, typing chat.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. It's only so when I play a few of the other guys in the 186th, we've just got fairly regular voice chat set up anyway, so we might do that, but that would be the only time that I play with voice comms.
Yeah, I mean, if I was playing Nick, who's a local player to me, maybe we would have a voice chat set up on our local group Discord channel, but even then,
yeah,
I think half the time we're just chatting anyway. So I feel bad. There's times where I'm messaging my opponent, Ryan's messaging me, and then it goes. All of a sudden I'm typing this whole message to Ryan that I meant for my opponent, and I'm like, crap. So
yeah, exactly. All right.
That's one of the things to keep in mind, guys. You can be privately chatting with someone while they're playing a game. So Duke and Ollie could be playing here, and I could be having a private chat with Duke, and Ollie would have no knowledge about it. Now, I could be talking to Duke about what his next moves are. We could be debating it. Like, if you're playing a friendly game and everybody's aware that might be happening, whatever, do what you want. But if you're playing in a tournament or a league game and someone wants to chat with you privately, you can chat with them privately. But it would be inappropriate to talk about moves or what you should and shouldn't do to beat the other opponent without them knowing about it. It's inappropriate to do it all. So don't assume because there's a private chat that you can have this private little strategy coaching session. Don't do that. You shouldn't do that.
And it's something that I've called people out on before, because obviously people watch and they want to just get involved. But yeah, because I've had to tell them before, no, sorry, this is a league game, so we can't talk about this yet. We can talk about it afterwards, but if you're giving me advice during the game, then yeah, it kind of voids it. It's same as on a tournament. If you wouldn't do it on the table, don't do it on here.
Yeah. If you join in and you start Ryan's here, he's joined in, he's watching our game. He's not chatting into our chat window at all, because he's spectating. He doesn't want to start like, well, why did you do that? Like, you don't disrupt another person, or don't really. I would say for an actual Vassal League game, don't interact as a spectator unless you're asked.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
that's yeah. Sorry.
I would say the only other thing is like a judge call. Like Ryan, actually, I've rarely had to deal with judge calls in like the Vassal League. How do you guys deal with that?
I mean, there's no real judge in a Vassal game.
Yeah, like if I've had it a few times where either I've been watching a game and I've seen something that I know is wrong, or a lot of the time if they're spectators, I'll ask spectators what they think. If there is a call that we can't agree on, then just in case someone in there knows it off the top of their head, I'll ask the spectators. But yeah, it's very rare that someone on the outside would come in and just go, oh, that's wrong, or something else. It's only if it's a very obvious and serious thing that someone's done.
And the nice thing about Vassal too is that in a real tournament, the majority of the judge calls are, is this ship an arc?
Yep.
And with Vassal, that's not a question. The engine will tell you definitively if it's an arc or not. So there's none of this, well, I think it's an arc. You don't think it's like, the engine will just, the engine is the judge. The engine will say it's an arc or it's not an arc.
Yeah, same thing with bumps and everything else. Like you don't have to check it because the system just does it for you.
Really the only occasion you'd have for a judge call is if there's a rules question. And that's usually pretty simple to determine. You can look it up in the rules, or someone who's spectating might know the rule in another game, who you trust. Like if you saw me or Ollie or Duke and you needed a rules question, you could private chat them and say, hey, do you know what the answer to this rules question is?
Yeah, exactly.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, reach out. Make sure you just, again, just keep it open communication for it all.
Yeah.
And for me, if I see someone doing something that I think is against the rules, I won't directly speak into the game. I will ask the player, why did you do this? Because I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. And then let them answer, because I might have missed something that allows them to do it, and he can then tell me in the private chat, well, I have this upgrade card and this interacts with this. Oh, I get it, I understand. As opposed to me interrupting their game.
Yeah, exactly. And then you raise suspicion from their opponent as well.
If I ask a question publicly, I might inadvertently reveal something to both players that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Generally, just keep your mouth shut. I mean, but if you see something off, like, well, why did you do this? Why did you do this? How did you re-roll a re-roll? Or how did you get 5 dice when you shot? That kind of thing. You can ask if you see a rules violation, but you're not. If it's a league game, just generally keep your mouth shut until someone asks.
Yeah.
If it's more of a casual game and you're curious, you can privately chat with somebody, but keep a low profile and don't interject yourself into their game.
Okay. I mean, I think the last thing would be what happens at the end of the game. So say like we played through this and, do you want to go over that, Ollie, or?
Well, feel free to take it. I mean, because end of the game is normally you would just generally work out points and stuff. It's normally good to say that you're going to leave and etc. because otherwise you just disappear and your opponent doesn't know where you've gone.
I would say for the Vassal League, in terms of that, one, you guys are going to end the log file, so you'll officially save it, close it. That's the game; it's covered, and then you'll, just like you said, go over the points. But then we're gonna be. I think we're going back to List Fortress, and we're submitting the results there.
Yeah. So similar to you'd write down in a tournament, it'll be points destroyed for each side, and then List Fortress should automatically work that out and give the MOV and everything else.
So it's, just the points destroyed. That's right. Yeah, that's all it's going to be including.
So yeah, I think, and anything else at the end of the game? Normally it's it's fairly clear when the game ends. Also, do something that's good to do with this timer is make sure it's both players' responsibility to check on the timer, because it's very easy. Just like saying set, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget to set the timer for the turn count. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people on Vassal will start to use an actual time instead of the turn count, but because in the Vassal League you can be unsure of how experienced someone is, it can take them a little while to get used to Vassal, so it can run a bit longer. So yeah, I think that's everything we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this recording. This will be uploaded to YouTube and Twitch, as I assume Duke will do so as well. And yeah, this will be on there for you guys to look at and check. And I'm going to leave my stream running, and we can just go straight into the game and finish it off.
Awesome. Yeah, I will. I'll end this recording here, and I'll start up a new one just between this game then. So
fantastic.
You guys might want to keep recording until the first engagement, just so you can follow through dice rolling and attacking.
That's a good point. Okay, well let's play as we would, and then we can just go from there.
Okay, sounds good then.
All right, so you're 3. I'm all set on dials.
Yeah, same here. So reveal, and I will focus up, and then this for the Y wings. They'll both move, and they'll. You know what? I should do this one separately just in case for Dutch. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Dutch I didn't go fast enough, so he'll just focus and lag.
There we go. So yeah, as you can see, as we're connected from voice comms, we're not really doing much in terms of typing. So all of this conversation would normally be typed into the chat, but it's just quicker to do it on here.
There we go. There, finally got out of the lag.
All right, focus and focus.
Focus up, and that will be it for me.
Okay, so Chewy is going to do a 2 bank, so we'll reveal that. Clear his stress. Another thing that I forgot. This is why it's useful to play through. So for force points, you can set them on the ship. You can see that you can set it on the side of the ship, but I quite like, especially for the crew, carrying around a force token with the ship, just so it's quite clear to see, and you can flip that to used and not used. So I'm just going to take a focus. So I'm actually just going to copy one of these ones because I'm lazy. There we go. And then Lulo decides that she doesn't really want to joust, so it's going to come up this way. There we go. I am set.
All right. And that real quick. Okay. And Mr. Wedge. I couldn't remember if I just lined up right in front of that asteroid. I took the safe route there.
Yep,
and
just in case.
Focus up and set.
All right. Poe is attempting to flank. See how well that goes. As I still have my foils open, I can now do a boost and then do a barrel roll over that way, and that will get me a stress token. Okay, and that's me set as well. Let's just check if there's any shooting. I'm fairly sure it would only be Dutch that might have a shot, so if you want to go ahead and trigger the arc on.
And nothing there.
All right.
That's just Control F for that one. So
there we go.
That's to show the arc. It's Control Shift F to actually just do the if, and then more stuff will pop up in the chat. So
yeah, the nice thing as well is that if you're out of range, I'll just do it for Chewy here. You can see that Lulo's in. If I do it for Dutch, that's in, and finally the one that won't be in. It just says no ships in range, which is really useful. Alright, yep, dials then. So let's just get those done. And let's see. If I mean, I think at this point Poe would probably be abusing you all in all chat, just saying things about your mother. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts of the new film actually, is just Poe just going to town on Hux.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really did. And I like how, oddly enough, for this game, they were able to figure out how to get Poe to do a double Talon roll, or
Yes.
or somehow just sweep behind. And it's even better with Ello with the Black
Yes.
title.
So Phil GC actually he broke me in one of the recent tournaments, and I was playing next to him, and he has Black 1 on Nien Num.
Oh.
So he went from pretty much where Chewie is right now. He was pointing straight at the board. He did a 4 forward, followed by a 4K turn, then barrel rolled with his pattern analyzer, ended up in range 1 or something. So we got no, and then he took the red focus coordinate. So he got a single ion token for going a total of 9 forwards, turning around, and a barrel roll with a focus. I turned around and Nien was on the other side of the board, and I got very confused.
Wow.
Black 1 and 9 can go into some really surprising places.
Oh yeah.
You guys are both in the Vassal tourney that Mega Silver's hosting, right?
Yep.
I haven't signed up for that yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing 3 at once. So I'm in the Scott Bryant's league. I'm in the Mega Silvers, and then obviously the Vassal League is starting up itself. I am good to go if you're good to go.
Like what tier in the Vassal League are you?
I'm on 2. I just missed out on the top one this year.
Almost redeemed.
Yeah, so I'm core worlds. I'm not quite deep core.
I had a late start, so I'm in not unknown regions. I'm in the second one, and
Yeah.
I did terrible. I almost got sent. I should have been relegated. I just got lucky.
Oh man.
I'd have never let you leave that.
Oh, I know. It was so bad. Because I've only done 2 of the Vassal leagues.
Yeah.
I did really well my first time. Second round, I ended up I faced, I don't know how many of those Harpoon, Deadeye,
Oh man.
the Scourge. And I wasn't flying my Poe list at the time. I think I was flying just like a Falcon or something. I just get wrecked. I think it was Ray, and I'm just getting wrecked every game. So, so I am set also here. So we had a frame break, so I had the vacuum come in here. So things do happen while you play.
Yeah. So yeah, and the first season went fine for me, and then basically because of lack of players when I joined, I got bumped up to the 3rd tier instead of going to the 4th. And I thought that'll be fine. I can carry on just playing jank randomly, and I got stomped on for the first 5 games.
It starts to get a little bit more serious when you get into the 3rd tier.
Yeah, it does. You realize that people, because most of the time your logs are recorded, people start looking at what lists you've been using, and if you play the same list for more than 2 games in a row, people start to just counter you.
I had an issue there when I was trying to do my 3 forward. It messed up a little bit. There we go. All right, now I can hit.
There we go. So yeah, just collision, hit
So,
C. Y-wings don't care.
Yeah. These guys don't.
They're where they need to be.
Right.
All right, Chewie. Chewie says, "That's okay. I'm just gonna stay over here." Right, and he's carrying his stuff. He is just going to focus again, get some nice reliable rolls. Lulo is going to come around the corner, and we might as well go for the U-wing. I don't know where Wedge is going, so I'm probably going to get hurt by Wedge, but I'm going to take a focus, and then just to show you guys, I'm going to take one on the side of the ship, just Control A. You can see that you can cycle through the actions. That's what we used to do before the tokens got spawned. And then I'm going to use that to do my boost afterwards, which should Yeah, keeps me out of arc, and I get a stress token as well. And wait for Wedge to come in the side and wreck Lulo.
Oh, I wish.
You didn't do a one bank, did you?
Two
Oh,
bank,
there he
even
is.
better.
There he is.
Bank is bad either way.
I mean, I could risk it here with Wedge and barrel. That could be kind of fun.
I mean,
Just
everybody
why not?
likes unmodded dice.
No. Well, then you're going through the rock the next turn. That's not helpful.
Oh, I know. I'm focusing up.
Yep,
Focusing up. So.
All right, so Poe's gonna come around the asteroid there. I'm really tempted to black one here, but I don't think I need to. So I'm just going to. So I told you I forget my foils. So I open the foils because I'm shooting this turn, and then I'm going to boost straight and target lock. I don't really want to shoot Magva here. Oh no, I'm not going to target lock because you got Magva.
Yeah, I do.
That means I can't reroll things. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a focus.
You can reroll one die.
Yeah, but when I triple blank, it makes me sad.
Well, hey, I swear, I want to say it's like 50%, or most of the time I remember it. It's always like, oh, I'm firing proton torps. I'm like, oh, Magma comes into play. Oh, it's too bad I got hit, crit, and I only have to re-roll one die anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, let me turn that into another crit. And it's like, well, nice job, Magma.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot of the time. Like your average roll is only a single blank, so yeah. All right. So Wedge will shoot first because you have the initiative.
I don't think he has anyone. He does not. So go ahead, Poe.
All right. The Poe will go, and Poe's going to have a go at one of the Y-Wings because he's got a chance of doing something. So we're going to go for the one that isn't obstructed. Let's go for Horton because he's got a scary double tap. So I'm now going to use the dice window. I can right-click on the dice and just hit roll 3. And I got lucky, so I'm going to spend my focus and get 3 hits.
And because that's not obstructed but range 3, I get to roll 2.
Yep. And you can see all that in the chat window. And we take 2 shields. There we go. And this, as you would see when you do it. So normally I would have said Poe into Horton, range 3. So that would be 3v2. So you're stating what the dice are. You're telling your opponent what range it is. Okay, and then it's the 5s. So Lulo. So I'm just stating that Lulo is going to be shooting, and then I'm going to check the range. So I'm going to use the auto ranger. You can see it's popped up here, and I'm going to take the range 2 shot into Magva.
My computer crashed.
Oh, there. Go on, Ryan.
We lost him again.
So into Magva 3v2. So I'm just stating what I'm doing. So Lulo says 1 hit.
I get 2 dice.
Hey.
I will take the yeah, I'll take no damage.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And as he's safe, we put safe.
I might have missed it, but one of the things that people tend to do is when they're shooting at a ship, they'll say 3v2 for 3 red dice versus 2 green dice.
Yeah.
And then the opponent usually.
And we were covering that. Yeah, no. That's a good point, though. It's a good point to bring up still, because it's important. That's the lingo that you're going to see.
Yeah, and your opponent will echo it so that you're on the same page before you roll dice.
Yep. I think I've had one person so far tell me it's really annoying that I'm just repeating what he's saying.
Well, it's better that you're on the same page before any dice are rolled.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then there's not. Yeah, it's just better.
It is. I reckon Dutch has a shot here. Hey, Horton has got one as well.
Oh, we got Horton. Here's the who, and he's going to go for Chewy there. So 2v2.
2v2, long range. Alrighty, not secondary weapon, so no rerolls. Chewie says, "I'll take a shield." S- so you can change the stats on your ships, and that will also ping up in the chat window, so you can see that I've decreased my shields to 2 because I took a damage.
That's a great. I really like that now because I don't know how many times it's like, wait, did you lose health here?
Oh,
and now
yeah.
that being logged is really helpful.
Yeah, and yeah, just the fact that it can tell whether or not you've taken the damage off your ship, it's great.
It was needed.
Oh, for sure. Oh boy.
Jeez, look at these. Look at these red.
So I'm actually I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to take a shield. So yeah, I need to hit you back harder than you hit me. So
Don't you hate when that backfires?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll save my focus, then you don't really focus.
Yep.
That's why I was thinking of saving it for Magma. It's like, oh, 1 shield, but Chewie's gonna hurt me here, and then it's like, well, it's the same number of dice. Whatever.
Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, so Chewie's going to shoot. Alt F is for the side arcs or wherever your arc is pointing. So I'm going to shoot Magva, and this is where hopefully you get to see the fully operational ray. Nope, no you don't.
Not too much.
So she sets that one to a hit with her force point, so I'll flip the force point. And then I will spend the focus to turn that into a 1 as well. So there we go, focus goes.
You've only taken 1.
Oh boy.
I have a win for you, Nick.
I know. And I got myself a nice bump train running along here. We'll see how this. We'll see how I can pull this one off. Because Horton's rather useless in a way of his ability not procting yet.
I'm quite happy that his turret's pointing the other way. Oh yeah, so that's me set, and therefore over to Magfa.
Yep. So let's see. That's good flying there. You know, you did a really great job there. I didn't think about Lulu going so fast there to just basically. I'll line up with Poe, flank on the same side. So that was really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Chewie's basically the bait in this list.
Well, if I kill Lulo or if I kill Poe, who I ideally want to shoot,
Yeah.
Chewie's like, oh, I get another free shot here.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That
it
could be a
was.
dead wedge easily in 1 round
Yeah,
from Chewie alone.
yeah. I mean, it's the key thing is remembering to use Chewie because it's very easy to forget.
Oh, I can't complain.
Yeah, one of those times when you really should have kept the focus. Ah.
Hey, it still goes through.
All right, so no shields on the Wookiee. The great thing is that he can still use it when he dies. Okay, so end of round, I will flip my force token back up, and focuses disappear.
And the nice thing is, I actually like how the charge and the force for built-in users are on there. So like Poe, him having, you can actually show it decrease, but his is not a one-time use. This is a recurring.
Yeah.
So, if your opponent used it or not, he's either going to have a stress or not going to have an extra stress. So, but like critical that you track that one.
Yeah, exactly. So if I wanted to, you can see I've just popped onto Chewie there. I've set a force charge on him, so I can track that on the ship if I don't want to use the token on the side. So that's quite helpful. Right, let's get some dials done. That's it's quite a lot of firepower coming my way around that asteroid. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I was about to say that myself.
We've had an interesting first engagement where I was happy with it, and now Lulo is feeling very sorry for herself.
I'll be honest, I hate Lulo.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I hate that he dies so easily for me. And it's all this bitter comes down from for him comes down from how I flew practicing for Outrider, so I can blame Ryan for that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it worked out. I think it worked out. I think it worked out okay. You know what? I'm gonna change wedge here. So.
Nick, I think the favorite blame I ever took for Outrider was Angelo. He was playing Dash and I think Dash Miranda in an Outrider game. And he blamed me, and I wasn't even close to the game. He blamed me because in practice, his opponent was playing very straightforward, and I would not play very straightforward. I would play very cagey. And he was so angry. He expected his opponent to do the cagey, weird stuff instead of the straightforward stuff. He kept making the wrong move, not to counter the straightforward stuff, but to counter the weird shit that I would do.
So that's quite funny because if you play against someone who you're basically like you're predicting the prediction, right? So you're doubling down on the fact that your opponent knows that the obvious move is there. So you're not going to predict the obvious move because he knows that you'd predict the obvious move, and therefore you predict the second obvious move, and then he just goes ahead and does the obvious move and screws you.
That's 100% what was happening.
Yep.
What he blamed me for.
It's
wait, it's not my fault.
Well, that's why I liked when like Bo Sheck. Yeah, I think that was that crew guy in 1.0. I liked him, but he was so hard to use.
Oh God.
In that, so annoying for him to use.
You could just see your opponent smile as you crashed into them, and it's just like, how am I gonna do it?
All right, let's do Dutch next.
Yep. Oh God, hello.
Hello, Dutch. And then he's gonna target lock here. So I'm just gonna activate the target lock and scan away. I'm gonna do it on Lulo.
Yep.
Dutch a target lock on Lulo because he's gonna take a good shot at him, right? And Wedge, because he was in range of Dutch, I'll give Wedge the target lock on Lulo also. So
nice.
From Wedge's ability.
There we go. And
all right.
Worth noting as well that as well as that big bubble that you come up, you can also just do that with the auto ranges, whichever one you fancy.
All right, and then we'll control S this one for a nice bump.
Yep.
Dutch there by so C.
Yep. I think the thing I only miss slightly less than the manual barrel rolls is the zooming in to try and check whether or not something was in range or crashed.
Oh.
Right. So this I'm fairly sure that this that Lulo's going to crash here, but we're going to try it anyway. So Chewy is. I think I have to boost because otherwise it just gets shot to hell. So I'm going to boost here, get some defense behind the asteroid, which gives me a stress token. And then Lulo is going to do a too hard to the right, which totally doesn't hit that asteroid. Maybe. Yeah, it's like right on it. It's not even close. But there was no way she was going down there. So let's just take the hit. Hey, she got lucky. He got lucky. Go. Yeah, Lulo was just like, nope, abort.
I know. That's why that's my favorite thing about these are the resistant A-wings. It's like, normally the A-wing you'd have to do too hard into me, and I was, that's what you can do. That's best. But now you can run away and still get shots off. I love that feature.
Yeah, exactly. So I was if I got lucky there, I was just going to turn the arc backwards and shoot. All right, I am set.
Wedge.
Over to Wedge.
Some great flying by me here today. Getting a lot of good shots off of everyone. And
Well, I just landed on a rock, so everything's fine.
It's that middle rock.
Yeah.
It's the big rock in the middle. So
Exactly. Right, and Poe's just going to come in and continue to hammer things. Is that boost going to fit?
No, that boost is not fitting.
No,
if you're going right,
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Maybe.
Well, that's the thing, because you can just turn the corner next turn, so I don't want to just be sitting there. And I forgot to close my foil, so I can't be barrel rolling. Oops. So what I've just done is I've accidentally picked up a rock. I'm just going to undo that. I was trying to select Poe and I missed. You know what? I'm going to take a focus where I am. And because Magva's around, I don't want to take a target lock, and I don't mind stressing myself in this position. So I'm now going to attempt the boost right anyway.
Cool.
And it's probably going to crash. Oh, it's close.
I think it's the peg that got you.
Yeah, that would have fit otherwise. So, yep. So I'm going to just undo that. I get a stress token anyway, but that's fine. Okay. Shooting time. Wedge doesn't have a shot.
No shots for Wedge.
All right, over to Poe. Poe is going to continue to hammer into the Y-wing, because keep on shooting the thing that you shot first, I think. And it's obstructed, so yeah, why not? Let's carry on shooting Horton. 3 dice. Oof. Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. Let's see if Horton. Horton.
Oh. All right. I see how this is going.
Exclamation.
Yep. Excited.
That's
right.
how I would type it.
Your 4s.
All right. Yeah. I don't believe Mr. Dutch has a shot. Got his range 2. So 2v2.
Yep.
And that's going to be a set then.
All right. So 2v2. Chewie finally remembers how to roll evades.
Nice.
And I can't spell. Everything is fine. All right. So that will be next Y-wing, I think.
Yes. It's Chewie now.
Oh yeah, because Dutch couldn't hit. So Chewie will check what's in range, and as I don't believe you can do the double evade twice in a row, so into Horton. So again, that is going to be 3v2. Right, 3 dice. Ray says that that's a hit as she spends a force point.
It's looking good there for a little bit, but
yeah, well, he dodged the 2 crits.
not that time. I can't complain. So,
All right.
And then just no crits for me personally. I don't put them out onto the lagging real bad now. I don't put them out onto the board unless they're crits.
Yeah. So I'll what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change over to the streaming mode, just so you can see damage and stuff. So I'll pop that off. So this is there we go. We can see that. And yeah, lovely. So we can see points as well, and Horton's on half. Chewie's taking 3 shields, so let's change that to awesome. Over to Magva then.
All right, yeah, Magva. And 3v2 into Chewie because it's not obstructed. So.
Yep.
Is he done?
That'll do. Right. Let's see.
Thinking, yeah.
Chewie doesn't like.
Chewie.
He doesn't like evading things. All right, back to the dials. I see no way that I could do something wrong here. No way at all. Yeah, I love the fact that the silencer dial and the A-wing dial basically swapped.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, there we go, and I think we can just go with that. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nobody panic. I need to remember that you've got layer in this list.
Yeah, you do.
Because I'm pretty sure it's going to catch me out at a really good time. Yeah, this is a... So this is the thing with the Vassal games, is that a lot of the time you will finish setting dials just like you would on a table. And this is when I find I get distracted. So I normally have something on the other window, and I force myself whenever I'm playing a tournament game to not have something on the on my other screen, because otherwise I'm just constantly like watching YouTube or something else, and it really does take your attention away.
It does. All right, I think I am set.
All right.
So since this is the oddly weird, I can actually do the system phase, and it's nice since I'm first with this. So I will, I'll call it out here, Dutch system seismic.
Yep. Oh boy. Now, a lot of the time when you're playing, if someone does have a system phase thing, they will call it every single turn just to remind their opponent not to just go ahead and do things.
Yeah. So I'm going to place the bomb spawner, and then because I can still access it without dealing with Magma yet,
Yep.
that bomb, so we're dropping... Go. Oh, there this is.
Yeah. So just so you can see that, I'll move Magma out of the way. There is a seismic charge just underneath Magma. It's still placed even though she's in the way. You don't even need to worry about it. And Control B is the shortcut for the bomb spawner if you don't want to use the right click menus. Right, so that's going to make my day a living hell. Over to you.
All right, and then also I'm gonna pop Leia. So
Yep.
Bringing all three charges out. If this madness will work. All right, so Magma goes first. We're gonna close those wings.
Yep.
And then we're gonna reveal the 0.
Nice.
But then we're gonna rotate.
Casually bombing herself. Yep.
Rotate 90. Up too far.
There we go.
All right. And since she's stressed from last turn, no actions. Dutch next here.
Yep.
And do it.
There he goes.
No stress. So he's going to reacquire his target lock.
Yes, he is.
But he'll do it on Chewie.
Yep. There we go.
He'll give Magma that target lock on Chewie also. So
I am shocked and surprised.
All right, and Mr. Horton. There we go. Control S. Oh, darn. But just going to get the stress from the debris cloud.
Yep. Horton doesn't like actions.
Doesn't really need it per se if I get the right ships in, if I can do it, but I'm not flying him well at all. I think this is like my second game with him.
Oh,
Crit.
man. That's just mean. Oh, my God. Right. That's a big deal.
Yeah. All right, so fuel leak, and he'll take damage from seismic, so that's fun. Cool. Good day for...
Yeah. I think you might be safe from the seismic. All right, so Chewie just does a 1 forwards, and Chewie is going to kill Horton. Like that's the thing that he's going to commit to doing. So he's just going to stay there. He's going to take a focus and get angry. Then we've got Lulo. So Lulo completely forgot that you could turn. So she's just going to do the sloop.
Ooh.
But that's okay, because I get stressed and I get shots. And over to Wedge.
Yeah, so Wedge is...
I mean, Lure's not going to die there.
No, she's fine.
You don't know what I'm doing. Then I will back him up all the way.
Yep. I like that. That's really... I was kind of expecting you to go over the top of Magva, but then you don't want to take the rock, so...
Yeah. I'm lagging. Hold on.
Do you want me to get it for you?
If you wouldn't mind just moving it, because I'm...
Yeah, sure thing. This is the issue with Vassal, because I know Duke just played a game earlier. A lot of the time, if you're on Vassal for a long time, it steadily gets slower and slower because it's a Java program. So, best way to solve that, if you are finding that you're lagging a lot suddenly, just close down Vassal completely. You may even want to kill it in Task Manager and then restart it, and it should be fine. Alright, there we go. So Wedge is there. I imagine he's going to boost. Oh no, because you don't get the dice then, do you?
I'm just going to focus up there. I'm just keeping things simple here.
He's happy. Right, Poe is going to commit to exploding. So, oh, that was on later. So yeah, Poe's just going to do the one bank, and he's not the most happy with his life choices right now. But he's not getting shot by much. So actually, considering that rock is going to disappear, I mean, I could maybe dodge the explosion.
Well, it's based off the rock.
Yeah, I know.
So I could, wherever you go, I can decide to, like, because if I'm hitting that other debris cloud, I can pop that one too.
Yeah. So. I feel like I just want to kill Horton here, but so I really want to take a target lock on Magva, but then it's I'm gonna take a target lock on Magva as well. So I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna take a lock, even though it's probably not going to do much good. But it might be one of those situations where I roll a single and then I can reroll that, so that's good. All right. I think the way that Magma messes with your head is great. Such good shit for that. So Poe's going to take a shield here, but hopefully not too much more.
Right, so let's do this. So I think it's Control G still. A ghost.
Yep.
Well, I don't think I can actually access it.
You can click on her name still. Oh, yeah, you can't. So just unghost Magva. The best way to do this if something's stuck underneath your ship is you can do a 1K turn. So just do a Control Shift 1. Oh, sorry, Control Alt 1.
Alt 1, yeah.
And then you can do all the things with the bomb. And then move
We'll check. Yeah, we'll check. So, obviously I'm going to blow up that bomb, so
yeah,
I'll put Magma back. So we'll do this one, so we'll check everything in range of that.
Yep.
Pricely Dutch is out of that, or Horton is out of that.
Yep, he is not taking damage.
Right. So just Magma in there, so I'm going to delete the rock, delete the bomb.
Yep. And then put her back. So Poe takes a shield.
Magma takes that shield.
Alright then. He's just trying to look cool flying through the explosion.
It goes sometimes.
Yeah, I still get that image of episode 2 when I think that's the good bit about episode 2 is the fire spray chase through the asteroid field.
Oh. There are some redeeming qualities in the prequels.
I like the prequels.
That's good. Yeah.
Right.
You're doing it wrong.
I mean, I can't.
All right then. So start a combat. So Poe versus Magva.
Wedge first, because I
Sorry,
shoot first.
Wedge goes first.
Let's see if I got anything. Nope, I got anything. So.
All right. So
Yeah.
we are going to go to Poe. Poe checks his range. It is range 1. So yeah, there we go. So he will do 4 against 1. Okay. I think I spend that focus.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's ouch.
Hurt.
That stings.
Shield, and then
Hit crit. A lot of the time as well, people will actually do so. They'll do that in the chat, so you can see shield hit crit, just so they're declaring what you take.
And damage engine, so nice.
Ew.
And then I will do the spawn critical token.
Yep. So that's always tasty. And yeah, there we go. So Lulo again does have the U-wing and arc, so is going to take the shot. 3 dice unmodded against 2, so 3v2 into Magva. That's better. Oh.
Is that wait, was that enough to kill her? No, she has 1 hull left. I forgot to change the hull count. So
there we go.
just 1 hull.
Shield, hull. Yeah, so you've got 1 remaining. Oh, I kind of want to shoot her now. Damn it. Well, Horton, I think I'm going to have to kill her with Chewie now. Horton and Dutch are going to go first, though.
Let me throw that card there. Okay, so I see if Dutch even has anyone. So 3v2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Horton.
It does say obstructed, so there we go.
And does that each other reroll 1 attack die for each other friendly ship at range 0 to 1 of the defender? So no, he doesn't work on himself, so it's just going to be 3v.
Yeah, because it does say other.
Yeah.
I like Horton's ability. It's much improved from secondary weapons.
Yes, yeah. I know they intended I think they intended for like Blunt, Horton, and Nora to really work together and set there.
Yeah. I'm actually going to trigger Ray's ability here on defense. So I'm going to set that into an evade because I really don't want to take crits. So I'm going to flip that down. I'm just going to hope that Chewie's unmodded dice are okay. But was Dutch in range?
No, Dutch had no shots.
Okay, so Chewie is then going to shoot range 3 at Magva. So that's going to be a 3v2. And hopefully you can take her off the board before she gets angry. Oh god.
Oh.
Shouldn't have spent Ray.
Oh.
That's really unfortunate. I've been getting quite lucky with the dice here, I think.
I think our dice have been pretty even for this round. So, I mean, Poe had an explosive round, but he's gonna get anything less from Poe.
I suppose it counteracted with Chewie and Lulo.
So speaking of dice, whether you guys complete this game or not, show everybody Sozin's Lady Luck website.
That's a really good call. So just flicking it back onto the live to the screen, I'll just get this up. So if you have a look on here, you can go to Lady Luck, sozin.pythonanywhere.com/new, and if you go to Vassal, you can just take the entirety of the chat log, just Control A, and paste it into there. Just say, right, which person won the one there, so I'm just going to copy Duke's name into there. Otherwise it shouts at you. And you do need to just cut off the first bit of it. So just
make sure when you copy the chat, make sure you only copy 1 game's worth of chat. Because in Vassal, if you play like multiple games, all the games will be in that chat log. So you want to make sure you're only copying the chat log specific to 1 game, or else when you try to import it, it'll yell at you.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a load of cool stuff on there. I mean, it just counts up actual stuff. The versus graph, I think, is the most useful thing. Because it does sort of how much you're above or below the average. And yeah, absolutely, as you were saying, Ryan, it is pretty much bang on right now. There's only like a 0.02 swing, which is insane for Vassal. Normally it's a long way off. So yeah, it seems to be pretty even.
Weird, I can't get mine to... For some reason, I copied and pasted it in. I'm just trying to do it at the same time as you. And Hold on 1 second. Let me try that again.
No, go for it. I think a lot of the time it's if there's too many spaces at the top of the file, it can get rid of it. So I normally cut it down to when we first start moving.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Let me do that. So.
And the thing I love about that site is, after you play a game, a lot of times you will incorrectly convince yourself that the dice were against you.
Yeah.
You can go to that and you can find out, like, oh, actually, the dice were in my favor, even though I thought they weren't. And then you have to be more critical about your own play. And
yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, that can bring you back down to earth. Because it's very easy to say, like, oh, the dice and just kind of turn the game, and that's why I lost. But that might not actually be the truth, and you can it's easy to convince yourself that is real.
Yeah. I feel like I've started complaining more about dice the more I start using Lady Luck, though, because I know what average should be. And then as soon as...
that's the thing about X-Wing. Like, averages are interesting, but the game really rarely plays to averages.
Yeah, it does. It's all about the spikes.
It's all about the time. Like, you can have average dice over the course of the game, but if one player has really good dice early...
Yeah, that's a huge swing.
That. Yeah, it's a huge swing. Like, good dice early are better than good dice late, because you gain such a big lead that it's hard to overcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I just got out of the lag there.
Oh God.
I was good streaming, recording wise. It was just Vassal was holding me up. I was just trying to move my dials back to my box.
Oh God.
Sorry about that.
No issue.
Okay.
Right. So, I feel like I'm about to get wedge punched here.
Maybe Wedge will do something.
I mean, he should do at this point. He's spent a little time flying around. He's made the odds a little bit against him. Now he just gets to look awesome as he explodes one of my ships.
Exactly. That was the whole plan all along.
Yeah.
And let me just double check this strategy.
Yeah, I feel like I messed up the asteroid deployment in this game. I was expecting to fly a bit more like I mean, you did fly in formation, but I was expecting it with the U-wing to be a bit more like a swarm. But you actually went and played in with the asteroids. So, that's nice to know.
Yeah, I just kind of... I don't know. My typical strategy is, because I know you're coming after Magma in a way.
Yeah.
Because she should be your her wedge should be the primary target.
Yeah.
My thought was, okay, just get her in there, keep her close to everyone, and if I don't know. I mean, that's why to me I was just trying to keep it close, keep everyone close to each other as much as possible.
Yeah. I like it because it means that Magva protects them. Magva normally dies a lot slower, so that then you can leverage the shots that you get on me while I'm trying to kill her. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I forgot to spawn this, just so that you don't forget and I don't forget. Leak there on Horton.
Ah, yeah, you got fuel leak. And I think it's turn... So 1 second, you went 1 forwards, 2 forwards, 3 around the rock, 4 was the rock exploding. So that was turn 4, so this is turn 5. Yep. You can see how easy it is to forget the round timers.
And I mean, that's somehow, you guys, in a Vassal League, that's sometimes you can just get into that mode where you're like, oh, I got to do this. Ooh, I should do this. And then it's like, oh, let's take a break. Let's take a breather, recount, make sure we're where we're at.
Yeah.
Hey, it is. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What?
I'm upset too, so.
Cool. Good to go. I'm just very confused.
All right, so let's do Horton first. Double up on his stress here.
He really likes rocks.
All right, let's see if he can go 2 for 2 on this one. He is safe from the crit.
He is happy. All right, and Dutch comes in and just says, "Take a target lock anyway because you can."
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna. Oh yeah. Let me get the magma rid of that one, and then we're gonna target lock. Or with Dutch, and then give it to Horton also. So we'll set that. We'll say set that.
Cool. Yep. The Falcon is gonna be right in front of him. I don't feel like moving though. I think we're just gonna take the focus and shoot things. Lulo, on the other hand, is gonna probably, in error, is gonna go ahead and attempt to block Wedge. Now, I wish I had the old A-wing so I could boost and then barrel roll. Which I cannot do. So I'm gonna attempt. I'm gonna take a gamble here. I'm going to take a gamble. So basically, I'm fairly sure that I can't block you. So I'm going to assume that you've gone for the turn. So I'm going to barrel roll up the board. Like that. When it eventually catches up with me, I've got a lag spike. There we go. It's always the barrel rolls. The barrel rolls take ages.
I don't know why.
It's probably like lateral
tends to be them
movement.
more than anything.
It's really hard to line it up. And then I'm going to boost. And I'm going to hope that I can just hit Wedge in the side. And he hasn't done a one bank and just shoots me in the face. So, go for Wedge.
No, that was a good call. Yeah, that was a good call. I was too cautious of the rock there that time. Double check.
Heck, what are you doing? You got to close that door so you can boost out of his arc if you're doing that.
I could have, but I'm okay with doing what I'm about to do, because I don't think I'm gonna lose Wedge. I think I'm gonna lose Wedge this round, so.
Yeah, he can put a lot of damage into Poe here. So Poe is most definitely going to close his foils.
So you can barrel.
Yep. So I mean, new Poe is basically Center Felt, right? So I'm going to barrel roll backwards to the left, and then I'm going to boost.
See?
So for those of you that don't know Center, he loves doing that. It's harder to do now. I mean, I'm a Jake Farrell fanboy because I've been doing this for years, just playing with Jake, and it really messed with me when 2.0 came out because I couldn't barrel roll backwards as far anymore, and it completely messed up my eye line.
It's so sad that they changed Jake as a ship.
Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so angry.
It's not even close to the same ship.
It's to keep to the theme that rebels help each other out. So he's a cheaper Kyle Kartan that sucks.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, just compare points. Like Lulo. Lulo is 38 points. Jake is 36. How is that comparable?
At least they got their second EPT now.
Yeah. That's
useless. Just gives out poker tokens. He doesn't do anything. I mean, like...
Yeah.
And he was a fun ace.
He was great. Like I brought him to 2017 Nationals when Nim was everywhere. I managed to hit top 16 with Nim, Jess, and Jake. It was great.
Oh.
Like that was, to be fair, that was just because Jake was there for Proton Rockets, and then Nim finished everything off.
Well, Proton Rockets were like custom made for Jake.
Oh yes, I mean literally they came in the pack. It was just like, right, you're stapling this to this A-wing. So. One
of my all-time favorite 1.0 lists was a Tycho Jake Gemra list that I played. They all had Proton Rockets.
It's so much fun. Okay, I'm going to check Poe's bullseye here. Also has bullseye capability on Vassal. So looks like Wedge is in the bullseye.
Got him.
So I'm going to roll 4 dice unmodified. And get a single hit because it serves me right.
Look at what Wedge is doing.
Yeah.
Look at what...
See, you're
He
not allowed.
has to survive it twice.
Disgustingly lucky.
Nah, it's fine. You're not allowed to complain about your dice if you don't have dice mods.
I haven't complained. See, look.
I'm not complaining. I'm complaining.
There we go. Sorry, that was aimed at me. So, hey, go Wedge.
Right. Seems fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
No,
You didn't deserve that, Nick.
no, see that's the typical Ryan. You'll be playing in a tournament. You won't even be playing against him, and you'll hear seems fair, and it'll just be like 4 tables down, and you're like, yeah, there's something didn't go in his way that time.
Yeah.
I'll say that when it goes in my favor in a way that shouldn't have.
True, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's let this Y-wing storm happen.
God. Go on, Y-wings. I feel like Lulo could be in trouble.
Right, so we'll do Dutch here and
Into Chewie.
Chewie, so that's gonna be 2v2.
Yep.
Lock, man. Oh, we're gonna spend that target lock.
Oh yeah. Oh, hello. Well, looks like that's 2 hits.
You go. All right, and then we'll do the Horton.
Yeah.
Very ranged. All right, look at that 2v.
2v2.
Oh, and I get Wedge. I get Horton's ability here. So
Oh
2v.
God. Looks like that's
Roll.
re-rolling.
There.
All right. Lulo did dodge that.
That's good. All right, and then veteran turret gunner. So range. What did we say?
That's range.
Alt F. Yeah.
Yep. Range 2.
That's it. Yeah, range 2 there. All right, so 3v1 into Chewie. Target lock
Yep.
and set.
All right. So you'll notice that you can re-roll dice using a target lock. You don't have to roll new ones. Right. Chewie says he gets 1, so he takes the crit. And
That's just the hit, though, I believe, right? Ion can't.
oh
do
yeah,
crit.
that's a good point because it's an ion cannon.
It's just just 1 damage then.
Yep. So that is 4 in total on him. He has 4 remaining. There we go.
I mean, that's my one thing with. I'm very anti-ion. I just wanted to have a turret out there for today, but since there is no dorsal yet in hyperspace.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to play hyperspace.
Ion's getting cheap enough to use, though.
Yeah, I think if you're going to use it, you spam it.
Oh yeah, Ion Control's always been best when it's spammed.
The Team Vassal tourney, Muon's flying 3 Ion Vet turrets. Saw.
And Saw.
And that's what. Saw in the U-wing. So
Yeah.
he's flying around. You're damaging the U-wings, and now you're.
Now
Now they're all just re-rolling with double shots. So
Ugh.
I'm excited to see how that game goes. We gave Arthur that game, so good luck, Arthur.
So yeah, I was talking about it before we came on here, but oh god, I played the 5 Y-wings last night. Quick Draw does not like swarms at the best of times. He really doesn't like Ion.
Oh.
Right, so Chewie into Horton. Let's see if he can do it. 3 dice. Ray turns that into a hit.
Nice. That's gonna be no matter what I do here.
You've
probably
still
be a
got
dead
3.
Horton.
Ah, no, it's
You
a
could've
dead
rolled-
Horton.
you could've rolled-
Yeah,
Killed
you
me.
could have rolled a squiggle.
But the fuel leak still would have fucked
Hit.
extra damage.
Oh god, yeah, because you got the fuel leak.
Yeah. So I do that's fuel leak first, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
fuel
you
leak.
hit crit and then the fuel leak.
Oh, okay, fuel leak's
Okay.
after.
Just
Okay,
suffer
so
the crit
there's
before you
the
get the
crit.
fuel leak.
So there's the fuel leak.
All the dice.
So
All the cards.
all the cards there. So Horton dying. You were just my point hog anyways. Now the real 2 ships are out here.
Yeah. It's fine. Chewie's to be fair, I've flown Chewie off the board twice recently, so this I keep on forgetting that he doesn't have a 1 turn anymore.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Oh, the Resistance Falcon dial is so bad.
really is.
All the Falcons losing their one heart. That one heart was so clutch.
Yep.
And now, like, you think you can do things that you can no longer do anymore.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It makes me very, very sad to see the state that the Resistance Falcon is in, but because Ray is there, it's still good. I don't know. I really like Ray. A lot of people in the UK are flying Venny with Ray Gunner and 3PO.
I can't. Those bombers are strong, but they're an investment, and
Yeah, they are.
I'd rather have Poe and Ray anytime out there instead of. I mean, I guarantee you can set it up where you're still basically having 3 ships shooting and around because of the double gunner slot, but I haven't seen them be as effective as I think they intended them to be.
So the interesting thing was he was running this without the Trad Sim. So Venny was actually pretty cheap, so you could fit Bastion in there as well. So you had
Wow.
Bastion, Lulo, and Venny as a 3-ship.
I like Bastion. He's a great pilot.
Oh, it's really good.
I'm working on a resistance list that's Jess, Tem with Composure, Bastion, and then you can like fit Tally off to the side.
Oh God.
Yeah, and you're talking. You can essentially have all 2 double modded shots with the T-70s on one guy in and around.
Yeah, that's
Composure trick with Tem.
That's not very nice.
No. Too. So my Y-wing, right?
Yep, your Y-wing. Dutch continues to give people
Dutch.
target locks.
He's gonna target lock Lulo.
Yep.
And Wedge already has it on there, so that's it for him. So set.
Alrighty. Chewie comes around the corner. Is just going to focus because he has shots on Dutch, and hopefully Wedge is going to come into range. Lulo will just about land. Oof.
Oh, darn it.
Yep. And is not going to stress herself. She is just going to take a focus this turn. And hopefully get in the way of... Damn it.
You can do what you want. Do what you want.
I know. I just remember where Poe's going. So Lula's going to commit suicide. So I'm going to boost and then flip the arc backwards with no focus.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh,
All
God.
right, and then...
Oh! God damn it.
I mean, I knew it was going to fit, and I went for it, so...
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I was hoping that you wouldn't do that. Okay, so now...
I have to do something with Wedge.
Yeah. Now Poe is going to do... I'm not sure. Well, I've done the hard 2, so let's do that. Now, next question.
I want it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? So what I really want to do is I want to be able to boost first, but then you can't do slam as a bonus action.
Correct.
So I think actually I'm gonna boost and barrel roll because I don't want to be ironed in this position. I've still got my arc closed.
You can't get ions since I don't have any more ions.
No, I give myself an iron if I black one and then shoot.
Sure.
So I could get out, but I want to be able to shoot you. So I'm going to boost to the right when Vassal catches up, and then I'm going to barrel roll downwards towards Wedge to get him in the bullseye, and forward so I don't get shot by Dutch, or to the middle so I don't get shot by Dutch, because Vassal told me that I can't do that. And watch me get shot by Dutch. Oh God, that's really close.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I think he'll be safe.
Yeah, we'll ask it to do that for us. Right, so Wedge gets angry.
Wedge is gonna get real angry here. I gotta kill Lulo. That's the thing.
Yeah, just
just.
wipe.
I mean, I'm
wipe
pretty
her
sure
off.
I'm gonna get shot by Chewie too. So.
Oh yeah, I'm gunning for Wedge with everything here.
All right, so we'll do the 4v2 into Lulo, or
Yep.
4v1.
4v1. This is the heroic kill shot. Ah,
Then
well, it's 2 shields.
target lock.
Oh,
Target
sorry.
lock still. Yeah.
Well, that's the crit. So, ooh.
The dream.
Oh, she has to engage.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, this is what Chewie procced here.
Yeah, he's in range.
Yeah, because it's just when a ship comes off the board, right?
Yep. So I actually kind of want Lulo to die here.
Yeah.
Because he still gets to shoot. Anyway, we'll do Poe. So Poe's got the bullseye going on. So he just gets 4 dice. Hit crit. Oh.
Here's and this is when I lose.
Yep. Here comes the blanks.
Eventually, those shields would catch up.
Yep. And then it's Lulo. So Lulo shoots out the butt at Dutch. Oh, sorry. So before I do that, I'm going to roll the console fire, which doesn't go off.
No, so you're going to be safe here.
But I only got a single hit, so I'm just going to set that to a hit, and there we go. Which I can check in the Vassal chat. So, yep, single hit into Dutch.
Dutch is going to take that
Dutch
one
takes
shield.
it. So Chewie doesn't get a double tap. But
Might
does
might
Dutch
save
have an
Wedge. Oh yeah, let's check.
Because I think he does. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that's really close.
No, yeah.
Okay, so Chewie at range 2. There we go. Range 2 into Wedge. So 3 dice. Oh boy,
Ooh.
that's not nice.
Alright, so just a hit and a crit.
Yep.
Pilot. Stickles.
Yeah, that's a really good crit to get in the new deck.
Yeah, you can't complain about that crit.
I mean, it's
Going
your own
back
fault
six
if
on
it
Wedge.
triggers, right?
I completely forgot I had swarm tactics on Wedge this whole
Oh
game.
god.
That's alright. The only time I think it would have happened would have been a magma shot, but range 1 that one time too, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's okay. This is what happens when you throw a list 2 seconds before.
Yeah, just chuck it together, see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. This is what could be described as a big play. So this next round could be entertaining. Right. Yeah, there we go. Points updated. Cool. Ludo is on half. Alrighty. Yeah, I think this is... so this is either going to go really well or really badly. Right, 1 sec. So that's there. And Poe is stressed, so... let's do one of those. Okay, good to go.
Alright, I'm ready whenever you are, so...
Yep, okay, go for Dutch.
Touch. Too hard. We will... Sure, let's target lock. Target lock. I really actually don't want to take that target lock off. We're just going to focus there.
Yep,
This
makes
round.
sense.
There then.
Makes sense. Right, I'm just before I move things, I'm just gonna check Chewie's wording. Yeah, it is. So after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed. So
Because you're going to bump up.
I'm going straight onto the rock with Lulo. So Chewie does a 3 bank, takes a focus, and
Flip your,
Lulo
yeah.
is going to attempt to explode. Because if I roll a hit here, then Chewie just gets to shoot. Oh, no. Suicide play didn't work.
I love the risk. I love it.
I just like it's one of those things that you've got to try. You've got to have a go at.
And that's where Vassal's great for this, because it's like get a lot of extra games in. You might as well do something like that. Like you could see yourself, like if you were down, and since I am ahead in this game, it would have been a great risk for you to get that off and try and pop that, because that could catch someone off guard.
Yeah.
You get that kill shot on Wedge before he even moves, has a token or anything too.
Yeah, and
it's too good.
That's something that I'd never even considered with this squad, being able to shoot in activation with Chewie. Like that's really tasty.
Let's see, nothing there for me.
Oh.
I thought you would cut in more. I thought you were going to do the 2 bank.
Yep.
So I thought I'd clip you and try and intentionally bump.
Well, I think this is going to go from me looking like I'm really going to win to it's going to be Poe against 2 ships. All right, so Poe goes and says, "I'm in a black one." I am actually. So I'm gonna.
Oh, too hard?
Yeah, I'm gonna do another 2 hard. So do the 2 hard but black one, and then I'm gonna barrel roll backwards and get a stress token and stay there. So I'm not gonna clear the I'm not gonna get an iron token and clear the thing. I'm just gonna spend. So I got my charge for black one. I'm gonna flip that.
All right, and then get the
Yeah, I can't fire.
disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Awesome.
Yeah, just for positioning next turn. All right, so shots and stuff.
We'll let Wedge go first anyway, since I was measuring.
Yep.
So 4v 0 and Chewie.
oh, come on.
See, I knew that's why I should have taken the target lock, but that's going to be the miss there.
Yep. So swarm tactics activates.
Tactic is activating with yeah. So we'll do 3v Chewie there,
1. Yep.
and we'll spend it.
There we go. Right, Chewie takes all of the hits. And how's it go at shooting you back?
Yep, here's the dead Wedge.
Yeah, so range 1, ray and focus. Chewie says, take 4.
Whew.
Yeah, that's Ray is really good.
She's a great turret gunner card.
Yeah, I think she's at 14 points. I think she's appropriately costed as well, which is really nice to see.
Yes. Yeah. I think we'll actually surprisingly see probably Luke come down to around that point.
Yeah, I mean
value probably. I mean Luke is for a new player. That was clear from the beginning. They stated that, but I can see them. They already dropped him. What? He's 22 points now, or 25? One of those values.
Yeah, it's 26. I played against him a couple of nights ago.
Okay.
He did very, very bad things to because it was on Chewie actually, but Rebel Chewie, and I was trying to chase him around with Kylo, and then remembered that he just gets to turn his arc.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that. He's a really good anti-Kylo.
Yeah, he
card.
is. And at the moment, there's a lot of like dodgy 6s, so he's not terrible as a metacal.
That's true.
I mean, just 26 points though.
Okay, let me get Wedge off that board there now.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you want to carry on? Do you want to call it there?
No, we'll call it there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plenty of seeing rebels die, but no.
Yeah. Well,
this with me and Rineheart. Thanks for joining us too. If you're still on.
maybe, possibly. He's probably.
I'm here.
Yay! To be fair, like thanks for hanging around. We basically just we're just chatting for 2 hours, so thank you very much.
I'm on here anyway.
This is true. And yeah, and hopefully, well, I've just gone ahead and recorded the entire thing, so I might make a shorter version as well, just so I can upload that. But yeah, hopefully this has been helpful for anyone that wants to learn how to play a game on Vassal.
Yeah.
I speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure these guys would agree that if you're a new player and you see us on Vassal and you and you have questions, please ask.
Yeah, definitely. Just it doesn't matter if we're playing a game. Just send us a private message or pop in, and obviously, as we've just recommended, don't just say hi in the all chat. But yeah, just come and say hi.
Yeah, and if you want to play against any of us, or at least definitely for me, feel free to message me on Facebook or Discord or any of the really. So, and I'm always up for playing a match.
Yeah, it's always great to see more people on Vassal, and like everyone on here has an awful lot of time for new players. So I see a lot of people. Oh yeah, just before we leave, I'll just show you this one thing. If you go straight on to the preferences that I did mention in my previous video, you can change your name. So I've presently got this so I'm streaming at the moment, so I mentioned that I'm streaming. But you can just put new player alongside it, and that means that people will be like quite happy to chat to you, to just show you the ropes and yeah, get you started.
That's a great idea. Yeah, definitely. And when the league starts up, a lot of people you'll see they'll change it to have the division that they're in their name. And that's intentional because it could be like you're popping on and you're going to be playing a game, and if you see that division there, it's either they're looking to game with you, or they're that, hey, I'm not here to play free play, I'm here to play just league games.
It gives you a good idea of ability levels as well. So when the Vassal League starts and everyone starts putting the league handles on, if you see anyone in Core Worlds or like Division 1, Division 2, they've been around a bit. They're quite good at the game. If you see people in Division 5, it's not an exact science, because obviously you could be a newer player, an older player that's just in the lower divisions, but it gives you an idea. 4 a.m. Nope, just 3 a.m. for me because I'm in the UK.
Yeah, let's get you to bed.
Hey, well, really, really, really big thanks for playing, guys. It's always great to actually chat to people on this as well. And yeah, I'll look forward to playing you again soon.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll have to have a rematch for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, catch you guys later. Right, recording off, signing off.